welcome to Wedding Mayhem. Woo! To our Lauren .1.20 or whatever it is.
What are you talking about? I'm Lauren. I've been working with you for years. How rude.
You've had a makeover. So our Lauren is off at the moment because her little one's not very well, and you have stepped in.
I have, and this is what I wear every day. This is my outfit that I brought from home.
Yes, we are Christmas elves because it's our Christmas special, and you will get this episode on Boxing Day. It's Boxing Day, isn't it? So yes.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
so we
gosh.
hope that you've had a lovely Christmas and still having a lovely Christmas.
Yeah, but don't spend time with your family. Watch us.
Watch us, yes.
Yeah, watch and listen.
Okay,
Ignore them.
Go to the bathroom. Go to the cupboard.
Yeah, go to the cupboard, which is where I was last time waiting to come in.
You were. So
Last time I
so
was
we
here.
need to introduce you. Who are you?
I'm Alex, not Lauren.
And you are from the Tailors Secret Singers.
Yeah, Taylor Surprise Singers. Last time I was here, I surprise sung to you.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, pretending to be an engineer, which really wasn't fooling anyone.
With a spanner in your hand.
I wasn't dressed like this.
Did you have a spanner in your hand or was it a toolbox?
I don't even know what it was. It was some
Oh,
box.
the electrical thingy.
I was like, something with wires, sure.
Lauren, if you've not seen it, go back to the episode. It's absolutely
Lauren's
brilliant.
still mad.
She's still.
Why she's not here?
Yeah,
She's still cross.
She's still salty. Every customer that we come in touch with, she tells them about it and how cross she is about it. It's really funny. But congratulations to you, because you are a newly married lady.
I am. And I was just saying it's really sad because I can't wear my wedding ring because it's like I'm having an allergic reaction to it. So I've got my engagement ring back on.
It is quite a common thing, that.
Is it?
As well. So I think if Julius can get in touch with us with some remedies. But
oh, please. I want to wear it.
You were saying that you could coat it.
Yeah, I've read that you can get a coating for around the inside that stops whatever you're reacting to.
Yeah.
On it, but yeah.
Is it a new material that you wear, or is it?
It's supposed to be gold, but I think even gold rings are sometimes mixed with cobalt on. I don't know.
Oh god.
Things like that, but
yeah.
I don't know. Nickel, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Something's going wrong with it, but I've got my little diamond back on.
It's just getting
so it's
used to it, isn't it? Yeah.
The other one's really masculine. I wanted something totally different to this.
Yeah.
So I could mix and match.
Oh,
but
got
yeah,
it.
newly married.
So how did it go? Because you got married abroad.
I did. I got married in Seville, in Spain.
Anything you would change?
Ho ho ho!
Oh my gosh!
Happy Christmas, everybody!
You've done it to me! Oh my gosh!
What comes around goes around.
Okay, hi! Hi! How's it going?
Hey, sweetheart.
How you doing?
I was like, oh my god, we're being attacked!
You jumped out your skin.
Oh wow, this is so cool! We have a guest!
It's Lee Russell, everybody.
And I know you! How are you?
I'm good. Little surprise.
A little slim Lee Russell. You know.
Oh my gosh, I've had a taste of my own medicine.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
A bit scary, actually.
My
goodness.
You're like, ah!
Got a gift for you, Sharon. There's a little present for you there. So put it down there.
We'll open that. Thank you very much. So yes, welcome to our Secret Santa.
Oh, that's good.
You're going to hit me now, aren't you?
No, it's good.
So we're going to welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
So last time us three were together was a little do, wasn't it?
Yes.
We've had over a few glasses of rosé.
It was. I was getting drunk, but I couldn't let my colleague get drunk because he was driving us back.
Oh, did you make
Oh,
your
so you had
train?
the same thing. I was the driver that night, and the other person had a few glasses as well.
I see.
Beverages.
Yeah.
Someone's got to.
Why not though?
No, we did make our train, and we gave two of the other suppliers a lift.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
Because the
it was
last
so
thing I saw
nice.
of you was, I've got to go because we're going to be late for our train.
I was like, "No, I gotta go."
Well,
Yeah, because it was quite a long night, isn't it? After all the awards and stuff and everything. So
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Good.
Busy, you're mega busy. Thank you so much for coming in, because I know that you got 2 gigs today.
Yeah. So that's
Two?
fine. Yeah, it's fine.
It's Christmas, isn't it?
It's Christmas.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're good. So you've joined us for the Christmas special.
Yes. Yep.
And we're going to do...
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So we're going to do like a sort of a Christmas special. Sort of the top tips for making a Christmas wedding Christmassy and not Christmassy, if that's okay.
Yeah.
but not at the same time.
But not at the same time. So I did, really interestingly, I found a poll. Is a Christmas wedding tacky or cute?
I definitely think cute nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
74% said tacky.
Interesting. I think it's how you
It's changing.
do it.
It's definitely changing now.
Because I think it can be tacky. This is controversial opinion, but tinsel for me is like not.
Well, tinsel's back in.
Not.
I'm a 70s kid.
Not at a wedding tinsel.
Yeah,
That's not.
No,
but
have I just dropped a little bomb and then just?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Not. I think tacky as in if you had all the tinsel everywhere and bauble, but if you do like the mirror ball, Christmassy kind of look, that's very on trend.
Is it?
Either way, if you do a Christmas wedding and that's the kind of theme and decor, it's got not a tacky element, but it's got a kitschy kind of cutesy kind of vibe, which is close. Yeah. But I think you have to embrace it. Yeah. You have to be like, well, that's my theme. That's what I want to do.
Everyone's up for it at Christmas time. Everyone is up for the party and the wedding. Where in the summer, people are like, it's too hot. But at least at Christmas, everyone's like, do you mean like like they know it's going to be cold, they know it might rain, there's no hidden surprises on weather and stuff like that, so they've already catered it, not suddenly running out with umbrellas because they weren't ready for, because it's supposed to be sunny and now it's snowing or 100%. It's raining and stuff like that. So I definitely don't, but I'm with you on that though. I don't think it's, if you went for the Christmas tree on every table and
what about not doing the generic green Christmas tables, but like the little white snowy ones,
like a winter
wonderland kind of Christmas wedding.
So we've had this discussion in the shop with our brides and stuff like that, because a lot of girls getting married for next year, and they're like, we really love Christmas, but we know that it can be a bit tacky, and what can we do? So I will always say, like, for dresses, to make them clean. Even if you want a sparkly dress, rather than going like a silver sparkle, go into like a snowy sparkle.
Yeah, that subtler
like
kind
a
of
crush, sort of not white, but that that.
My best friend's got one of them on her. Oh, it's amazing. As it moves, you see it.
Yeah.
But like when it's still, you don't.
But then you need to make sure with your dress, like if it's a Christmas wedding, you don't go into the middle of the field to have your photos taken.
Oh, it's one of my top tips.
Because, like, obviously the dress comes in.
We were saying, we've had, the thing is, you do get it even with summer weddings and stuff like that. But we've got Doris out here with a new dress. That's a crepe dress. If you're going into a field, that is gonna be ombre by the time that you come back. So
depends how important like the photos are, or the dancing is, or nowadays people have two dresses as well, don't they?
Yeah. I think if you're gonna do it, you've got to get people to lift up the dress.
Little golf buggy
and put you in situ before you actually, so you're not walking around.
Or just where you have your photos is very important to how you have your dress, though, because some of the lovely venues in this area, like the Royal Berkshire, they've got the.
Are you name dropping?
Sorry, no, let's do that. Sorry, no, they've got like, the concrete
Sponsor
area.
the show.
Sorry, they've got like, the concrete area to like you to have your photos at winter weddings. Which,
Could you put something down on the floor for the bride to be on, maybe? Especially, I think if it's a winter, maybe like a white sort of snowy fro or something on the floor. That will save the dress as well.
Preparation, love it.
Huh?
Preparation.
I think.
Get into photography.
Do you think?
Yeah. Not got enough to do, so.
Yeah.
Really slacking over here, Sharon. Come on.
May not be running next year, so I might need something. So, So, what about colours and stuff like that?
Either you lean fully into it, or you
don't.
Yeah. You can still make it a Christmas wedding, but it doesn't have to be like you said. It doesn't have to be like red and green. It could be pretty much any colour.
A lot of white, like it's white. Like a lot of summer weddings.
A lot of weddings are
white.
Anyway.
So it's just the Christmas weddings when they're white. Just like even like just everything's white. So
the forecast for next year, when we were going around doing our trade shows and everything, is the clean, soft look. So summer colours are your beiges and your taupes and stuff like that.
Not like my wedding at all.
And
I'm not trend.
But anything goes. But I think
whatever works with you, right? It's your wedding. If you do want the green, then you can have the green. But like lots of people, they do now look online and they get inspiration from looking online, and that is very much.
Yeah, but you're not going to get that until after it's been done a year down the line, aren't you? So it's important, I think, to have the forecast of what we see out there. How do you make it? How do you make a Christmas wedding not feel like an office party?
Maybe not having constant Christmas music, could help it not feel just like it's
a lot of
Christmas.
people, when we do the Christmas weddings, you don't have, we had no Christmas music till on the playlist they will have it like maybe the last 3 songs of the night along those lines, rather than having it like throughout the wedding breakfast. You don't play Christmas music, and people have asked hotels not to play Christmas music as people are around the hotel. But if you are getting married at Christmas,
it's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, a bride, we did a wedding literally on the 1st of December, and the bride was like, "Can you do a Christmas song? I love Christmas."
Yeah.
And so I was like, "How am I going to work that in?" So instead of doing "Marry You," which is what we do, that's how we open our sets. Is like, "Oh, it's a beautiful day."
That was amazing. That was amazing when we worked together on that. I loved it.
And because we personalised it, we're like, "Oh, Sally, I think he wants to marry you." We then did Greg don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing he needs. You know what I mean? All he wants for Christmas is you at the bride. And we opened with that number instead, and then we put "Marry You" right at the end.
Because I know it's Christmassy. It's not, jingle bells, jingle bells.
Yeah, and that's the only Christmas one I did, because I was like, I don't want it. But
if they are getting married in Christmas time, they probably want to be, like you've just said, it to be in there somewhere.
It's sort of an injection thing. In there.
We've had people who want it after their first dance. They've wanted a Christmas song after their first dance.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
and what do you mean by Christmas song?
So the traditional kind of like, there's...
Wizard?
No. So they probably, we've gone for the Merry Christmas Everyone, or All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Yeah,
or Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
Okay.
Like the ones that, like there's the 3, which is like the Wizard, probably how I personally haven't played that this year at Christmas. Yeah, but the Mariah Carey, the Shaky Stevens.
So does the Christmas element happen after the wedding has taken place?
Yeah.
So when the party's starting, then you're in full Christmas mode.
Not like during the vows.
Yeah. You're not walking down the aisle to All I Want for Christmas Is You. But like even the background music for the wedding breakfast, you don't normally have Christmas music playing then.
So it's quite two-toned then, really, isn't it?
Yeah, there's the right time. Like same with everything, is it? The right time to do certain things.
Yeah.
The right time to have the singers on, the right time to have the DJ. Like,
totally. The wedding is a journey, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yes.
It's
you don't want to throw it all at them at once.
And some bride and grooms don't understand that, and you have to explain it to them as wedding suppliers. That
break it down.
Like, this is how it kind of works. And this is how we know it works, because it's like worked that way.
But you will be told by the venue when to do certain things. But you can, let's just slow it down. We're here a long day, It's like,
yeah. And this is it. The venues and that. I know that I've had a bride that, particularly, I think she was getting married like the 15th of December, like mid-December, and she particularly asked them not to have the Christmas tree in, not to have the Christmas decorations
we've had that,
in, and stuff like that.
I'm surprised by that though.
But the venue, because they were all geared up,
said no.
The Christmas party start in November. No, they said yes, but then there was a change of management or whatever, and they turned up, and it wasn't just a tree; it was like the massive Christmas tree, actually in their wedding.
I've heard that before, where they said, "I'm getting married in December, but I don't want the Christmas tree up. I don't want decorations up." And then the venue have gone back and said, "You are getting married in December." Yeah. There's a lot to kind of.
Yeah, so it's up to the venue. So it's up to the venue to tell them that no.
Well,
or not say yes.
It's their day, isn't it? So it's
quite naive, though, isn't it? Like, I find that strange. That
I think there's a lot of trust that goes into planning a wedding, and for couples getting married, when they say, "I don't want this," they will assume that.
Oh no, true. If they've agreed to it, they absolutely should.
You need to have it in your contract.
The ask is weird. Like, do it in November.
Yeah,
it's just an odd. I think it's.
But maybe they can't get married any other time. Time,
yeah. There is that. I guess that. That's true.
Yeah.
Is it cheaper to get married at Christmas? Are the venues cheaper? Are you cheaper?
The venues
the same price. Yeah.
No.
We don't even put up our prices for summer Saturdays. To be honest, we're the same. We've just got prices.
I think venues do the peak. Well, it's changing. Like you used
what do you mean it's changing?
So it used to be like. Weddings used to just be like from May to September.
Yeah, seasonal. Yeah,
they're all year round now.
Yeah.
So venues do like the summer packages, and then they do the winter packages. Now, I don't know about prices too much, but I think from what bride and grooms have told me, it's a little bit cheaper. They class it as out of season, but nowadays weddings can be any day of the week, as we know.
Yeah. Well, it started off. I mean, I got married on a Sunday because it was so much cheaper. It was less than half. Yeah. And now
it knocked off $1,000 off of ours, but it didn't knock off more.
Yeah, it was so much cheaper. I mean, I wanted to get married on Sunday because I worked on a Saturday. I was in the shop, and my staff were in, and I wanted them to be there. So,
but the weddings are every day of the week. Like nowadays, they're every day of the week. Next
My best
year,
friend's getting married on a Monday.
Yeah.
But it is a lot cheaper to get married on a Monday, so that's why they did it. And they thought, well, everybody can just take a day off, which is fair, because I think if people really
extended
love you,
weekend,
then they will do that.
Yeah.
And for us who work in industries where we don't get the weekends off, it's always you always have to take a bloody weekend off, don't you, to go to someone else's wedding? Yeah. And then actually sometimes it's like, well, maybe I'll do a week 2 wedding, and then you can for once have to book a day holiday. Or
so as suppliers, if this is your busiest time, you have to get booked quite a lot earlier than normal if it's your busy time.
How often in advance do you take bookings?
I've just took a booking last night for New Year's Eve next year. Yeah. So a year.
Right. We do.
And
18 months.
Normally more.
Yeah.
Normally
Well, I'm just thinking that, if florists are busy, or if all the suppliers for weddings are busy doing Christmas parties and functions at Christmas, they're double booked, aren't they? You know, so you, like I said, you've got 2 gigs today.
It's silly season, and people don't get that. Like, oh yeah, but I'm like, no, it is silly season. And someone's just called me this morning, for a wedding on Sunday.
Yeah.
Who's been let down? No, we can't do it. We've been let down, but that's
You'll help them out and find someone.
We'll find someone. Yeah.
Do you do other work other than weddings this time of year as
corporate
well?
Events.
Corporate
events.
Yeah,
a lot.
This is where we go, like weddings go down and corporate events
go
up.
Yeah, exactly. But both, like literally, whoever gets in first.
Yeah, so you need to be booked quite
in a nice way. Yeah.
Right, how can we do a Christmas wedding in summer? So we love Christmas. We are Mr. and Mrs. Christmas. We want to do Christmas, but we don't want to
machines.
Okay, cool.
Snow machines. You could have the fairy tale dry ice for your first dance, where you can make the whole you're in clouds. Yeah. You can have the white confetti coming down for your first dance. And for your photos outside, you could have white confetti being thrown over you.
So we are white, aren't we? We are, Christmas is white.
But then I think you kind of probably have to maybe set a scene outside for your photos, because everything's going to be so bright.
Also, your guests are going to be in
colourful colours.
But they're going to also be in strappy dresses and things. Yeah. It's hot, so it is hard, isn't it?
There's certain parts
you could just get them to bring a coat. Everyone put coats on.
Well,
photo.
We've got the fur.
They are very, very, very popular for weddings with bridesmaids and brides to wear. Years
ago, we used to do the red capes for brides as well, and they are back in again.
Wow.
I'm actually having one made as we speak. The velvet capes.
When I was a little girl, I remember seeing outside a wedding dress shop once. It was set up like a winter wonderland behind, and it was this pink. Baby pink, really pale pink dress, and it had fur lined. And I'd never wanted a winter wedding. I always wanted summer. That's how I saw my wedding. Yeah. But this dress was so beautiful. It had a big old hood with a fur lined hood. It was just so. I was like, that is magical. And I never forgot that dress. It's actually the only wedding dress that I've never forgotten.
Really?
And even though I always wanted a summer wedding, I did end up having a summer wedding, obviously. But I just remember that gorgeous dress.
People just think of Frozen as well.
I think so.
Frozen. You just.
Yeah, the blue. I think the blues and stuff to do a summer Christmas wedding. If you go the snowy and the ice blue.
Because you can get snow which comes out over you. You've got the snow machines which can fire snow over you, and you've got the snow confetti cannons as well. If you wanted those, but obviously that's going to make a lot of mess. So you are going to annoy a lot of people.
So you've got to choose a venue correctly.
So, exactly right, because venues do. But then they will put in an extra charge. You would just have to go to your venue and say,
just a Hoover, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not. The venue
filling up 17 Hoovers.
But they do.
Just get your Henry out.
But they do. I've got a garden blower that we bring to venues if we do anything.
Right,
like that.
okay.
Blow it because you do very much.
So as a supplier, do you have to clear it up?
No, well, maybe kind of.
3 a.m?
You do. It upsets venues, so you have to be very. It's that conversation you have with your venue, you just said beforehand about taking the tree away. We are having a winter wedding. And then when the wedding coordinator, when they agree to it, they need to pass that information on to the rest of the team, because we've been to venues before where the duty manager has said to us, for instance, I won't say the venue, but we were there. She wanted the dry ice for her first dance. She wanted the confetti cannons for her first dance. Amazing, beautiful. She had this vision in her head. That's exactly what she wanted.
Yeah.
When we got to the evening, I said to the manager, just to let you know, just to remind you, we'll be doing the dancing in clouds and the confetti cannons. You can't do that here.
Mm.
So the bride then pulled out her mobile phone from her dress, because she had those big pockets, which is amazing, pulled her phone out and said, I have an email here from the manager and the
Good girl.
straight away, I am allowed. And then the duty manager says, on this occasion we'll let you do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's not on this
Why?
occasion. You've had
Why?
I've
So
had
ego.
the exact same thing with my venue, because I was telling
Yeah,
you the
so
issues I
this
had.
poor lady came on our podcast and we were talking about things that will go wrong. We said things will go wrong, and she went, don't say that, because I'm like getting married. You were with us on Thursday, and you flew out you got married on the Sunday.
Next week I went out there on the Wednesday, flew out on the Wednesday, and got married on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And we'd already had an issue because obviously I'm a singer and I wanted loads of singing at the wedding, and everything was outside. But this venue's in the middle of nowhere. It literally is in the middle of nowhere. And the reason that we booked it is because we said to them, we want singing during the meal.
Beautiful.
Which is not in the same place that they have to have the DJ. They had to have the DJ on the terrace, whereas we're having the meal on the lawn. And we said we need singing there. But we said it's very chill. It's no backing tracks. It's just acoustic. Same volume as speeches, really, maybe a bit louder. But, they'd agreed to all that, and then 2-3 weeks before the wedding, they were trying to say, no, you can't have that. And I was like, no. That's the whole reason I booked you, because we went through lots of venues and, said no to all of them because of that. And I explained, it's not loud. It's the same as speeches. You can control the volume, whatever you want to do. I don't mind, but I have to have music there. Anyway, they agreed. Because
you are music.
That's the whole, and it ended up amazing. To not have it, it wouldn't have been possible. It was made the wedding. But they also, 2 years ago, they have a big tent that goes at the back of the lawn, and it's like a plan B, in case it rains. And they weren't supposed to have it for our date, and it's good because we didn't want it. It looked ugly. We wanted the lawn to look nice.
Yeah.
And yes. Anyway. Then they sort of said a few months after we booked it, oh, good news, we're changing the dates, that the tent is up and it's going to be up for your wedding. And I went, no, I'm sorry. That's the reason I booked that date. Yeah. I need it down for our wedding. Yeah. They were very reluctant, but they agreed to take it down.
Did you have this in writing?
Yeah, a contract that says the tent will go up on these dates, not our wedding.
Brilliant.
Right?
Okay, and that's really important, guys. Yeah. Make sure that you've got
the contract is airtight. Yeah. Because then, so I said, no, you need to uphold your contract. But then obviously by this point they don't like me very much, because I just was like, I did it really nicely, but I was like, no, I'm sorry, I don't want the tent because I don't think it looks nice. And anyway, then so they'd agreed to that literally 2 years before. And then a week before the wedding, not even that, I was getting my nails done on the Tuesday, I'm getting married on the Sunday, I'm flying out the following day, I get a call from the venue owner, and he was really horrible to me. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. He was trying to bully me into having the tent. He was like, listen, we've got a wedding the day before yours, that tent is up, it's got flowers in it, it's got lights in it. I don't even think we're going to have time to take it down, to be honest.
I bet he threw in, we won't charge you.
He didn't, but he wasn't even trying to be nice.
No.
Do you know what I mean? He wasn't trying to sugarcoat
Fait accompli, you're having it.
He was, and I'm in this nail shop trying to...
I know.
I know exactly what you're
and my best friend sat there, and she
you can't stamp your feet because your feet are in the thing.
I know. I was like, really don't have time for this. And I just kept trying to be nice, because I'm thinking, don't make an enemy of this man. Sorry, I've got hair stuck in my lip gloss. There we go. I was like, don't make an enemy of this man. You're in his house, because he lives there. It's his house.
Oh,
He's not a venue manager. He's not like an owner who does. It's their house.
And I bet there's something in the contract that says that they can withdraw at any moment. Probably
it's
that
all
you've
in
not
Spanish
seen.
is the problem as well. It's all in Spanish. Yeah. And so he was so mean to me, and I was saying, please, can you try and see it from my perspective? I was like, I can't have the tent. I've got a lighting rig, because we'd bought this beautiful lighting rig to be in that area, a mini golf, furniture. It would be all off centre. It wouldn't fit under the tent. I was like, it's not possible. It's not even a week before the wedding.
Yeah.
It's just, you're just going to have to take it down. I'm so sorry. I know it's an inconvenience. He was like, well, it is. Well, it is an inconvenience. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. I actually can't. And I was so scared that they would, ruin the day for us later, and, on the day, that I took them a nice gift to try and
Oh, Alex.
And I got one for all my suppliers, because we're suppliers, aren't we? So I got them for the planners, I got the florist,
appreciation,
DJ.
Yeah.
I got one for everybody, and I little sweets.
Well, it's like every week we come in here, and we always have a treat for the guys, because we appreciate what they do.
And anyway, they did take it down. They did take the tent down, so that's good. But on the day, they didn't like us, and basically we had a saxophonist on the day come, which was all agreed, pre-agreed. They said they had a sound limiter, which you obviously know all about.
We want to talk about this in a minute. You finish your story.
Okay.
Deep breath.
Yeah. Well, they had a sound limiter, and this was the problem with the singing outside, right? They said it had to be under 56 decibels. I thought, what? 56 decibels? That's out of your mind.
That's
but
a
then
bus,
it ended
isn't
up
it?
being that it had to be 56 decibels to the nearest neighbour.
Which,
Right.
But
even
after
so,
I was like, 56 decibels is like nothing. Anyway. But the 96 decibels was the what we were working with on the terrace. I thought that's going to be fine. They agreed to the saxophonist, everything. He's driven 2 hours to be there from Marbella. He does a set, 15 minutes. He's supposed to do 4. And I missed the first set because I'm off doing my bride thing. But I was so looking forward to the saxophonist. They told him he couldn't continue.
Mm-hmm.
They said you have to play unamplified. And he said, I can't do that. It's going to wreck my... I can't strain like that. It's not my set. It's not how I work. And I totally understand that because, you know, if I got to a wedding and they told us as singing waiters that we can't be amplified, I'd be like, well, no one's going to hear us, so we can't do that.
Yeah.
Pavarotti, like, how loud do you think we can be?
Yeah, it's impossible. So next thing I know, my planner's coming up to me with €200 saying he's given you a €200 refund. We paid €800 for him. He's giving you €200 back, which is fucking nice of him, to be honest. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's not because
elves don't swear.
Naughty elves do.
But yeah, and my planner just and it's annoying. He'd already left, so I couldn't even fight it.
Yeah,
she didn't tell me in time, and she said the venue won't.
That's why when
won't
that bride pulled out the ear, she fought to go to the manager. No, this is what
exactly.
And do stand like this is your wedding day. If you've planned it years in advance, don't let them walk over you because they want you to do what the wedding did before. Because then the manager's going home soon.
It's convenience,
and it's not. It's just your wedding day.
But it's the best day of my life. Like you can't do that to me. And it was really sad actually because we lost that sax and I didn't even see him play. No. And I was so gutted, and it is the one thing about the day that I'm like, oh, that's a real shame. And we did follow up with the venue, and I said, you know, this is our feedback. It was really, you know, we feel like this is your fault and we feel like you should refund us that €600.
Yeah.
And they were like, no.
No, of course not.
They were like,
of course not.
He was too loud.
So can we talk about
sound limiters?
I feel really, really nervous now because you know we've brushed on it a few times, and we're having couples.
But it's not just DJs who are affected.
Yeah, well,
it's now saxophone players.
People don't know about this.
They don't
people
know.
Getting married do not know about this. So
some people don't even know the venues have.
I'm going to grab my coffee.
Surely they need to put it in the contract. See,
and we're
it was nothing in our venue contract.
But they put it.
So what is it? Let's start from the beginning.
So basically,
we're going to educate you now.
So basically, you go to a venue, you fall in love with the venue. They then bring the contract out. You sign the contract because you're so excited. You think you can have a DJ, or a band or a singer, and then they will say, oh, and by the way, or not even they will tell you.
Yeah, they don't tell you.
We then, as a supplier, say, so they've made you aware that there's a sound limiter and the music can't be very loud. Yeah. And you're like, and they're like, that's okay. I'm like, no.
This is how we've started this show, because
to make people aware of industry issues, which we love what we do. We all love what we do.
Restrictions.
And when they say it can't be very loud, some venues will say, oh, it's 98 decibels. Okay, we can work with that.
But what it is 98 decibels?
It's a decent volume level.
Yeah.
If you're near, you know, if you're in the dance floor vicinity, wouldn't you say like that's loud enough for it to feel like
you're in a party?
You're in a
Okay.
Whereas stuff at like 70 maybe, you would be like, turn it up.
Yeah.
In relation to everyday thing, you know, what decibel is a car in traffic, say? That's a train.
60? I don't know, maybe 6 decibels.
A dog barking is like the 56 decibels.
Is it?
Allowed.
Okay, right. Okay, so let's leave that as our benchmark. Yeah. So dog barking is 56 decibels.
I've had people cancel their weddings at a venue. Once we've explained to them there's a sound limiter there, and they're like, if we're going to want a party, you can't go to that venue.
So we need couples to be asking venues up front, what is your restrictions?
I wouldn't even say just ask the venue. I'd say when you get the contract, read it. Because it will say in there. It should say it in there.
Mine didn't have it though, so maybe they should ask.
Yeah.
But then I was in Spain, so maybe. It's also not really the venue's fault sometimes, I suppose, is it? Because it's like things that have been imposed on them by licenses and laws.
Okay, I was going to say, why do they have
so some of them, there's a venue in the area who has neighbours who complain.
Okay.
And the council come out and put in a sound limiter there, so it has to be, so the residents.
So these are actually machines, aren't they?
Yeah, on the wall, which flip flicker, or
They
it might
can
go up
cut
and
out,
down.
can't they?
I was gonna
And
say,
then if it gets
cut
too
out.
loud, you have 10 seconds grace from it going in the red, and then it cuts out.
So your party would go. Ooh.
So we've had first dances before. So
Come on.
So when the bride and groom have walked into the room, and what do you do when the bride and groom walk in? Everyone cheers, woo, claps, cheers.
It picks up this
and,
as well.
and it picks
This
up
is the
singing.
problem.
And as they all walked in, and then it just went zoom. So all the lights go off in the room.
All the
sound-
lights go off.
Yeah, a whole
It's
room.
attached to the power
It's the whole
sometimes.
power rooms. The whole room can go dark, can go quiet, and then everyone looks at you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so now.
So what happens
So then
next?
you just have to explain to everybody, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know tonight, there is a sound limiter in the room. So please, when you are singing, please don't sing the most loudest, and then all night you're constantly like, when people sing, you turn the music down. When the people sing, you turn the music down. So all night you're doing that.
It's like being at school.
And then unfortunately sometimes you just have to have that, play the music where it's quiet. And because you've explained to people,
Hang on a minute. You're playing
quiet music.
disco music.
Quietly. Yeah, quietly. Not dancing like that though, but like quietly.
I always
yeah.
like, I dance like you've seen my dancing a few times,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But you're playing the music.
It just
Aren't people's voices higher than the
so
music?
people then on the dance floor, you can hear them talking.
Or your own footsteps when you dance. Isn't that the worst
Yeah,
thing when
because
you're
it's
like
so
you're like
quiet.
hearing when
How
we
do you
when we
dance?
do gigs.
And what have you got on your feet? Hoops?
Yeah, but no, but like when you
No,
can.
but we've had some gigs where, as because obviously I own a dance company as well.
Yeah.
Well, probably not. Obviously, people have got a dance company. Too.
Club mob.
And we do events, and sometimes the music is. There's nothing worse than the music being too quiet because when you can hear your own feet when you're dancing, it's not a vibe.
So like,
and people can't get into.
you see,
it
now
as
you said
much.
about planning the day. So in the daytime, you have a saxophone player. It's nice, chill. People talk. You hear the music, great. Then during the wedding breakfast, people are talking. You're playing the music. They're feeling it. Then the evening, you start to turn it up. And when it gets loud, that's the time to get on that dance floor.
Yeah.
And people do that. You're telling them through the music how the days are running, and literally when you can feel the beat on the music, it makes you want to dance.
And with music as well, for me personally, when my heart starts pounding because the music is exciting.
And there's nothing better with you, arm in the air, singing. Like, for instance,
We Will Rock You!
Like Mr. Brightside, everyone jumping in the
Classic
air.
wedding track. We Will Rock You.
Singing, arms in the air, everyone jumping like proper like.
Taking the roof off.
And they're feeling it, and you can
We
feel
need
the energy.
it.
And
We
literally
need
the
it.
release in some people. And the brides, you can just see, they're looking round and everyone's like,
having the best time.
they've planned this day, and it brings goosebumps through your body when you hear everybody like the bride. You just see it, and when they lift you, because that's what they want.
Yeah. They want to give everybody a
best night of their
See, I
life.
didn't really have that because I was like, our music had to be because the DJ was so scared. I asked him to turn it up a bit bunt, but he wouldn't.
Do you know what? It's the worst feeling when you turn it up because the bride's going to turn it up and the groom turn, and then it cuts out, and I go, I'm so sorry, it's not. And then for the rest of the night, you're like literally like shaking because you don't know how.
How stressful is that for you?
Yeah, it's not good.
As a supplier?
To be honest, it's not great because everyone.
Because it looks like you're shit.
Yeah, but then that's why I think it's very much when couples inquire with you.
Right.
A few tips,
Right.
like if you're looking at a venue, the first thing we go, what do you want from your wedding? Like, we want to have the best party ever. We want everyone on the dance floor amazing. Do you want it to be like pumping, everyone having the best, like singing? Like, then choose your venue very wisely.
Right.
Yeah. Because some venues have like underground more like bits, don't they, where you can go for a party. When Liam, one of my team's brother, got married, it was like a club bit though. It was really quite cool.
Okay.
And everybody goes down these stairs, and it was like a club vibe, and that's because that's what they wanted. They wanted the party to be like
maybe
the best
venues
thing ever
can
to,
look
like,
at doing stuff like that.
Some venues though, they will now say you have to use their in-house sound system, which is exactly the same as a sound limiter, but they control how loud it is from behind the bar.
Worse than a limiter.
So literally, there's someone behind the bar. Oh, I can't talk. Let me turn the music down.
Because they're also earballing it.
And literally, they turned it. I'd done one in Essex last year, and the woman said, "Yeah, so we control the sound limiter." I was like, "Brilliant." So will it cut out? She said, "No." I said, "But we control it from behind the bar. So can you show me?" So there was a switch behind the bar. You could turn. So I went over there. I said, Is it turned
That's
up?
like parental control.
She was like, literally.
That is actually
It's
what it is.
She was like, literally. She goes,
Yeah.
well, we can't talk behind the bar. I said, yeah, but we need to create an atmosphere.
And sorry, you don't have a job if you don't do weddings and
Some of them,
events.
Yeah, they're not. I don't know. Some of them aren't that concerned about the
You're
party.
here because we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is rubbish, isn't it?
It is difficult. A lot of DJs though are now doing what I do, saying to people, what do you want? And before you book, what venue you're looking at.
So you want to get hold of them before they've booked their venue.
Don't you find though that you're booked after they've already booked their venue? Yeah. Because we're
yes
all,
and no.
Like
so now I'm very much the phone call before. Where would you recommend? Which venues would you recommend?
Right.
We've just got engaged.
Because you do the engagement parties too.
Yes, we do.
Is that
so
how
there's a
you
little bit like, but it is very much now. We've got engaged. What venues would you? Can I have a 5-minute call, Lee, just to have a chat with what venues you'd recommend in the area?
Interesting.
But I think, I'm going to blow your trumpet now. You are very well known in the circuit, and people have been to weddings that you have done for other couples.
Yeah.
So when they have got engaged, they're like, I know he gets booked up really quickly. I'm going to call him. So you actually do get hold of them very early. Yeah, for us, sometimes. Me and you are the first to be booked.
Yeah, in a nice way. And then you'll say, right, here's so-and-so I recommend, here's so-and-so I recommend. Or we can go the other way, we could be the last.
Yeah.
I don't find that very often, in a nice way.
Yeah, so you definitely have to ask.
Because people normally have seen, if they've seen you at a wedding, like yourselves, when we first met, I was like, this was brilliant. I was like, I couldn't stop saying to you, oh my God, I loved it. It was like, that was so unique. Yeah, because I'd seen the singers before, and it was very much like, yep. Probably like DJs. We've seen DJs before play music, but you just do
the extra.
And
really luckily, actually, for us, the limiter hasn't ever really been a big problem because
you're flash mob. You're in and out.
Well, that doesn't make it. But it's more like because what we do is done always to guitar, and the important bit is the words. So it's obviously really important that everybody hears what we are singing, because it's all customized to be about them. So it's not about the loud party that a lot of singing waiters do. That
and probably your audience is probably quiet.
But
they are, and they don't want to miss the next joke. So you get like laughter, and that's when
then they're quiet again. So
and then they're like. And then at the end we do a sing-along bit, and it's quite short, and then we have to be careful. That's the bit.
But if I remember, they did let you the venue we did for Sam's wedding. They did let you put your own speakers up. I think if I remember.
In the end, did we do that?
I can't remember.
But it still has to go through the limits because it plugs into the wall. Yeah. But we didn't have an issue with it. It was fine.
I think
because it's more about the clarity.
They were so engaged when you were singing. I was like there like the whole time, just looking, because it's unique and it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, these things are really stressful for you guys, but imagine it for the couple if they're aware of it, that the music had cut out and you're putting there constantly watching. They're not enjoying.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss, isn't it?
But then the guests start looking at it. When you explain to the guests, they're like, oh, it's going in the red. I'm like, yeah, I know it's going in the red. I'm like, you shouldn't need to worry about it. I'm looking at it all night.
It's
you're like that.
Rubbish, isn't it?
It's even worse when the sound limiter's not in front of you.
Right, okay.
And it's round the corner. And you're like,
what if it's being controlled behind the bar as well?
Yeah, but then that's them turning it up or down. It won't cut out, but the ones which cut out. I mean, there is some venues, don't get me wrong, who manage it very well. They have sound limiters and are very good. Very good. They tell all their customers beforehand.
Right.
They manage it. They help you on the night by coming up and explaining to you, just to let you know you'll have 10 seconds. Actually, you probably have 15. So just be aware.
Okay.
And it's set to a realistic
level.
Right, okay. What is a realistic level?
98,
I would say. I reckon, because you don't want.
Is that two dogs barking?
Ours was supposedly 96, and I thought it was too quiet at my wedding. But we were outside, so I don't know whether
you lose
the sound goes out more.
But then some, like, honestly, some venues are great. Like there's a venue in the area which there's a sound limiter, and you can bring your own speakers, and you can plug into their speakers as well.
Right. Okay.
And that's very good.
Yeah.
Because the sound limiter's there. So if you're pushing the sound that way, it gets it's going to get the full hog. But then they've got speakers in the wall which come that way.
Yeah.
So you have your speakers turned down, their speakers turned up, and it actually works very well.
This is probably too technical a question for this show. I'll ask you afterwards.
Oh, I want to know.
I've seen some venues have this sort of new technology where the sound is
compressor.
Really very localized to the dance floor, so it's really strange because the moment you go off the dance floor you kind of lose it.
So basically wedding we went in the summer, it was in a marquee and they had their own speakers, and if you were on the dance floor it was very loud. It was fantastic.
Right.
As soon as you stepped off the rug, literally
drops off.
There's no sound.
So does that help with?
No, because it doesn't. Sound attracts people to the dance floor. If you were standing, I don't know, 5 feet away, 10 feet away,
it doesn't sound like it's a vibe.
It doesn't.
And for us, we've tried it for singing and live work. The feedback issues are horrendous. I went to a venue that had it, and honestly, we only have a certain time to soundtrack, and we're trying to make it work, and it's just not working. And every time I go on the dance floor, which is in the middle of the room, by the way, I've got guests all around there and all around here, so I can't not go on the dance floor because I'm going to get across the room.
Yeah.
I was like, every time it's like, getting into the, you know. I was like, what are we going to do? And we brought our own speakers because I never trust anyone with anything.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good supplier, guys.
Yeah. So I said to the venue, listen, it's just not going to work. And they were really keen for us to use theirs. And I said, we can't do it. We cannot do it. It's not, I can't do my set like this because, listen. And even our speakers were setting it off.
Yeah.
A bit better.
We all know when the music plays, you're on the low and you're like, oh, I love this song, it's my favourite. But you won't be able to hear this. That.
It creates that vibe. Like
Sorry, I should pull up my pants at that point.
I liked it. It made me feel like I was there in the
but you're visualising it, aren't you?
Yes.
You visualise. That's why you try and make sure when you get the playlist, for instance. Yeah. My cousin loves. I don't know. Let's go with Wham. I need to know which one your cousin is.
It's a good Christmas song. We are a Christmas special.
But you need to make sure your cousin's in the room. You don't want them out of the room because they'll come running back to you.
Yeah.
Can you play it again? I'm like, I can't play it again.
Yeah, you're on.
No one's
you're
won
on.
again.
Yeah.
What it would say, we are Christmas special, but when you see an empty dance floor and the vibe's not vibing, what do you do to get that back in?
Well, as a bride.
Well, at my wedding, he did the conga.
No, I don't. You don't really get that. Like everything has a time.
Yeah.
Like, and I had a conversation with a bride last night, and she was very on my page. Yeah. And when we spoke like a year and a half ago, because her wedding's on New Year's Eve this year, she was very much on my page, where she was like, "We're going on till 1." So we've got the cake cutting at 8 o'clock because we want people to talk, use the photo booth, relax, and then the cakes at 8. And the first dance, maybe 8:15, something like that. So like don't rush the whole like people aren't going to dance straight away. Yeah. So you just kind of create the vibe. If you guys have been singing fantastic, then let people talk a little bit again, and then you do the stuff. So you don't rush it, where people aren't going to dance straight away because you've got evening guests arriving as well. Yeah. So that's where the photo booths come into play. At the beginning, you're still entertaining them. Okay. And then, but literally just little moments. So your cake cutting, your first dance, your father-daughter dance. If you want to do a Mr. and Mrs. game, you've got little things you can put in and stuff like that as well. Oh, and then if you want to organise a little dance off at some point in the evening, you've got a couple of names of couples which you can just talk about games. We have got a little wheel to play, so we're going to wheel that on. Fantastic.
While that's being done, can I have what you're our little foot soldiers out there. What are you seeing that's new for next year? That you've not seen before. Like you talked about Alex when you saw her set, how excited you were because you'd not seen it before.
Yeah,
what is tickling your fancy?
Book the Tailors, right singers.
Tickling. I do like this. Things come round. Yeah. Come round. Sweetie carts are back in at the moment where people are like having that just to keep the guests like more sugar up. Throughout the day.
Well, I think that's really important because it's a long day, and and like you said, the sugar levels, the energy levels need.
Speaking of, just going back to my wedding where absolutely nothing went wrong. We got espresso martinis.
I love that.
We paid extra for these. Delivered with the dessert bar because we had like a dessert bar, so that was my version of the sweetie cart, right, to get people sugared up. I thought caffeine, let's go, because my wedding went on till 3 because it was Spanish, so it's later.
See?
Good.
These espresso martinis, I took a sip of one, and everyone's there like this. Like, I was like, what was it? Take a sip of one. It was like filter coffee. With but watery filter coffee with maybe vodka?
Vodka,
but wasn't sure.
They haven't put a Kahlua in it.
I was like, what the hell is this? And because I said it, all the guests were like, oh, thank God, they're awful, they're awful. And I was like, I ain't paying for these. And then I actually did get a refund off.
Were they foamy or were they just...
no, there's no foam in sight.
No.
They looked awful. They looked like someone had poured...
It's coffee and vodka.
It was quite laughable, to be honest.
Give this a spin. There we go. Did you get to do this last time?
Yeah.
Did you?
We did a humming thing.
Buffet or sit down?
Sit down. Is that just like...
Meal.
Sit down.
Sit down.
All day long, sit down.
Yeah. Sit down.
It's a wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
It's a wedding.
Yeah.
There's a bit of sharing kind of, and maybe this is a trend, because my very trendy friends are having this at their wedding in August next year. But there's like that really nice food, but it's like family style. So you put it all down and
but
it's
colourful.
People
sit down.
But people are sat down and they bring it. Yeah.
It's more elegant.
Yeah. Is that what we want?
Yeah, it's a wedding. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. It's not your.
So I think we're now seeing, especially for next year, the sort of sharing platters are coming more through.
But that was years ago as well, so everything comes back again.
It does come back again. Well, it's 23 years in for me. God knows how long it's for you. Yeah. But are we combining the sit down meal? So out is chicken chasseur, in is the.
But also
platters.
it comes down to cost as well now, isn't it? So that there's that as well. That some people if they can just pinch a little bit, they want to save a little bit here and there and spend it on their entertainment, or the dress, or the honeymoon. If they can save it on that, because you don't want but people, do they want that 3-course massive meal nowadays? Sit down, yes, but do they want that massive meal?
It feels sick and and tired and heavy,
Yeah. With buffet on the tables, though, there is something to consider, and this is the thing I saw at a wedding, where you basically think in your head, it's going to look lovely, and you have all these platters on the tables and things. But after people have been at it doesn't look like that anymore. Yeah. And so if you're a bride that's very focused on aesthetics, I would say maybe don't do that. And we had a wedding that we went to, and all of the table, they had like platters. They were doing it very budget, but it looked beautiful. It was cheese and crackers and grapes and all these things all set around.
Henry VIII tables.
But it was on the table direct. Yeah. So if you imagine, there's no plates or anything. Yeah. And it was all on these like tablecloth on thing, and then they'd done this. And I thought, God, that looks amazing. And I remember taking a video of it and thinking, that looks so beautiful. But halfway through the meal, it looked like people were eating from a trough. Yeah. Because there were no plates. When they had plates.
But you got that video. You've got that video of it looking amazing.
Gross, and I should then have taken it before and after.
All day long,
Exactly. Because I thought, what a lovely idea. And someone's obviously seen that on Pinterest and gone, oh wow, that's really nice. But they've not thought through in practice. So maybe that's something to think about when planning.
Have all your photographs done
your food is like, how do you want it to look? And that's where a 3-course meal in the traditional sense. Yeah. We did a dessert bar, so like a buffet, like that. For dessert, because I find that at weddings, I don't know how you feel, but everybody seems to leave dessert.
They're
so full.
They want to stick around.
But
you sat down for 2 hours though. You do want to get up.
You do. You do.
With the dessert bar, you can nibble.
So we're not going to do another one, but we've got a Mr. and Mrs. game. So you're going to do your Mr. and Mrs. game. Yeah, you actually did at my wedding.
Yeah, many years ago.
Yes.
I love games.
It's all new to you, isn't it?
That's Christmas.
So we can either do it with a champagne glass and a pint glass. Where
okay.
Do we get to drink?
So no,
not here.
You can do that.
Oh, we can have a sip of our coffee.
We've done weddings before where if you get the question wrong, you both have to do a shot. But that did happen.
Line them up.
It got quite messy. And I also got the wedding, the ushers and the bridesmaids at the side as well. And if they got the question wrong, the bridesmaids and the ushers had to do them.
That's wicked. I like that. I like that.
So is that something you offer as like a service?
It's just something we've done over the years. I mean, not many people have. We haven't. It kind of goes in and out, but it depends if the wedding needs something to happen.
Do you charge more for it?
No. It's just a fun thing. Yeah, it's just.
I think we decided the night before my wedding.
Yeah, because some people think, oh my god, it's so like. Tacky, but then like tinsel, and then other people go, it's entertainment.
Do you know what it was? One of people still talk about that. It's actually one of my favourite photos as well.
Are you allowed discontainment? You've done the Mr. and Mrs. game at my friend's wedding, and I'm like, when was their wedding? Like 2017. I'm like, yeah, that was us. But this year I think we've done it twice.
Oh right,
so
okay. Well, maybe you're going to do it more now.
But it depends. Like, I have got it booked in for. March next year, a wedding then as well. So I know it's booked in because they when I spoke to them, they were like, make sure you're doing it. I'm like, so some people love the attention, but some people don't like the attention. Everyone's different. So today we haven't got champagne glass and wine
glasses.
Would
you do a coffee?
We're gonna give you.
Yeah, but how are we gonna know who's got it right and wrong?
You can just basically give me your opinion.
Oh, okay.
Compared because obviously you're both married ladies. If you think you're correct, like,
oh my gosh,
you put it up in the air. If you think your husband is this person, put it down. Okay, just for this.
We're not doing each other.
You can do each other. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Okay.
All right. So, first question.
God, I'm a bit nervous now.
Out of you and your husband, who takes the longest to get ready?
Wait, you mean out of us two?
Yeah, who takes the longest to get ready, do you reckon?
Oh, Matt.
Okay.
I'm 10 minutes less.
Oh, yeah, no, it's me.
That shower changed everything.
Who shaves the most?
have to shave that much. You can barely see the hair.
Do you know what? I was thinking face. Yeah. I wasn't thinking legs.
It depends what you are. It depends what you.
Do you know what I was thinking?
But do you know what you're doing
but
now?
You are darker than me.
Do you know what you're doing?
Yes.
You're laughing.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And guess what all your guests do?
Laugh
as well. And weddings are about fun, right?
Yeah.
So, next question.
Go on.
Who's the best driver?
Oh shit! I'm just a shit driver.
But
Listen, it's been categorised on here. My journey's in with Lauren. I can't say I'm the best driver because I'll just go back.
I was following you a few months ago, and I was like, "What is she doing?"
What do you mean? What was she doing? What was I doing?
You were on your way home, and I was going to a venue, and you were just like, "Oh my god, Sharon, brake? Oh no, she's not brake yet." So
no, I don't brake. I speed.
Next question.
Oh god, all right.
Who spends the most time on social media?
Oh. Both of us.
Yeah, well, I don't want to. I only do it.
No, I'm gonna. Can I change my mind? It was probably me. We had that conversation we had earlier.
Because I see how much you post, and I think, and I normally have someone to do it for me, but they've all left me, so now I've got to do it.
The final question is for this:
dun, dun,
right?
dun, dun, dun.
Who can drink the most?
Oh, both of us. Well, judging by the award, do the bar, that poor woman at the bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially when I like to give you a lift home, Sharon.
I was a good girl that night.
I'm going to say maybe you, but I can drink quite a lot. But I have faith in you.
How do you think?
And then you
I was just saying the other day that cocktails don't touch
you normally
sides.
end it on who was the first to say I love you. So obviously I'm not going to do that with you guys, but then you say, ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big round of applause. They'll be doing their cake cutting and first dance in about 10 minutes.
Aww.
And then everyone claps and cheers, and it's give that happy vibe. And you know, when you've been sitting down for a couple of hours, it just gets people up. But not every wedding does that. This is just something that you.
I love it. I think every wedding should do it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There was a stage where you did it at every wedding, but now.
Do you get bored of it?
No, because every reaction's different. You've got an usher or a bridesmaid, like one of the, who snores the loudest, and you got an usher shouting out the bride's name, and it's like, well, how do you know? It's just little things like it's just little bit of banter that you can bring into part of the wedding where before the dancing happens. But that's when I said about everything happens like at the right time.
Exactly.
You don't rush the wedding because people will dance if you build onto it.
Lovely advice. Right. Top tip from both of you before we close.
On what? Weddings?
Christmas.
Weddings.
Anything. Weddings in general.
I'd say with a Christmas wedding, lean into it.
Do it.
Just have it.
Tinsel, everything.
I think have a Christmas wedding, and if you have a Christmas wedding, have a Christmas wedding.
Okay.
I reckon. Yeah, not tinsel though. Never tinsel.
Yeah.
It's flammable.
I'd say like literally enjoy it because it is a time when everyone's happy. Everyone's stressed. But
when you get the countdown for Christmas, like I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my God, it's 19th of December. I'm starting to get excited now. I've got to put presents to wrap and that. But I think once that happens, people can then relax. They're off work.
Last year when we did a wedding, the gifts, the favours. Yeah. They wrapped the favours as a little present on each table.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Which
this is what I mean.
But it was a shot. Which was great. But every shot was different around the table, so like different ones. But
shot roulette, some might say.
But it was wrapped in a little present. So they embraced the Christmas wrapping.
Because they're saying favours on tables are out because it's messy and stuff like that. But I love that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well,
I love my free presents.
On that note, we better say goodbye. Where can they find you?
LR Disco Entertainment.
Where can they find you?
The Tailors Surprise Singers.
Woo! And we'll see you all
Instagram,
next week.
DJ Lee Russell.
Bye, everybody. Bye.